right after the game, and he just got back from talking to the media and kind of caught us all off guard a little bit. Him and I have talked a lot over the course of the season, and I knew the health thing was a big part of his decision. But at the end of the day, it was still hard to hear, and I might have been the one to say, sleep on a little bit. Let's talk maybe a little bit later on down the road here. But when we talked again on, I think it was Thursday again, and he was still adamant that he had enough, and he's going out on his terms, and obviously fantastic career.
What has he done for your coaching career, do you think?
I'm going to even back it up as a player. I mean, I came here in '81 as a player, and Rick was he was in the organization and got to know him then. And then in '83, he came in as an assistant with Barry Long, and I had him as assistant coach. Had him again in Boston as my head coach. I came back here with the Moose to get into my coaching career, and he was with Vancouver, so there was that connection that we had with them. And we've always kept in touch. He's been a source for me on, whether it was when I was applying for jobs or whether I was even just coaching when he was in Tampa. I was in New York. There was a lot of rivalry then, but we'd always talk about different things, the league, players, all that. He was a great sounding board for me, and he had so much experience. He's done so much in his career, especially at the coaching level, that he's an easy sounding board for me to go to often, and it grew a great friendship. Not only being a coach of mine, but also being a mentor as a coach.
How has he helped you grow as a coach, Scott?
Well, a lot of what you heard about today, his honesty and his straightforwardness, his ability to connect with players. I never had it kind of saw it as I've seen the last 2 years. Just the way he recognizes what needs to be fixed, and he attacks that certain thing that day. He always wants to make sure that he doesn't leave a stone unturned, and I think those are all great qualities for a head coach. And he's the type of guy that he builds relationships, and like he mentioned about all these phone calls and all these text messages again, it's amazing all the different people we'd see over the last 2 years, or we'd be having a conversation about a certain player that played in 1987, and he'd be, oh yeah, I coached him, and oh yeah. It's amazing how many people he has touched, and he's been around a long time, and he has touched a lot of people in the sense of whether it's coaches or whether it's players. He's just been a great inspiration for a lot of people.
Scott, the process obviously has to play out, and I know today's Rick's day, but you certainly had more than just a small snapshot of running the bench in that. Where is your head at after having 72, 96 hours to digest this news and knowing what your aspirations were when you came back to Winnipeg?
Yeah, I mean, like you first said, this is Rick's day, so I'm not going to go too far into this. Chevy, Mark, they know my intentions. They know what I want and what I'd like. We'll talk more. It really is in a very early stage. Like Chevy said, he found out Friday. We knew a little bit earlier than that, but at the end of the day, we'll just let the process play itself out. We'll kind of tackle things as they get put forward here.
What do you know now today that you didn't maybe know 2 years ago when you first started coaching with Rick? Because you've had a chance to be behind the bench with a lot of great coaches in the NHL yourself.
Well, he's certainly right there at the top. I've had some great people that have helped me with my career as a coach, and he's right near the top. Just how he goes about his day, how he approaches different things. But he just, he's a guy that has learned a lot as he's moved along too. Whether it's from his first days here in Winnipeg or whether that was going through, Tampa, the success they had there, and he's a guy that has such a wealth of knowledge that the biggest thing is that it'll never change. We'll still be talking. I may have to get him off the golf course to get that conversation, but no, he's just what you see, what you hear from Rick is exactly what he is.
Sort of double down on that answer. I know it's Rick's day, but you said that what you want is one of the things that you hope for to be head coach of the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So.